Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Greetings from Amsterdam. Thank you for your interest in the Energy Endeavour Foundation's efforts on resource optimization and energy efficiency. You're joining us today in the info webinar for the Solar Decathlon Europe 2021 Call for Teams, which was issued in March of this year. My name is Louise Holloway. I'm the Director of the Energy Endeavour Foundation, which is endorsed by the United States Department of Energy to steward the designated host city of Wuppertal, Germany, and its SDE21 organizers for the upcoming SDE in September 2021. Together, the SDE21 organizers and the EEF constitute the SDE21 organization. And together, today, we will cover the basic aspects of the call for teams during this webinar. Before we begin, I'd like to draw your attention to the email address which was on the cover of this webinar, which will be downloadable, questions@solardecathlon.eu. Beyond this webinar, that email address is the official mailbox to direct all of your questions during the entire call process. All questions received in this mailbox have been and are posted on the SD website in an anonymous way. The official answers to your questions will typically be answered within 5 business days. Please be careful to not submit any language that might be business sensitive, proprietary, or confidential. We will answer questions during this webinar. Unanswered questions will be answered according to the protocol described. Also, for your info, there are no particular advantages or disadvantages to the application evaluation process with respect to participating in this webinar today. Your participation is completely voluntary. Let's get started. What is the Solar Decathlon? I'm sure that most of the people on this webinar are perfectly aware of what it is, but for the sake of clarity, I will just reiterate. The Energy Endeavour Foundation and the SDE21 organizers seek up to 18 university teams to compete in the Solar Decathlon Europe 2021. As you probably know, the challenge to the teams competing in the Solar Decathlon Europe is in approximately 20 months to safely and effectively design, build, and operate full-scale dwellings that are cost-effective, energy efficient, and attractive. The winner of the competition is the team that best blends affordability, consumer appeal, and design excellence with optimal energy production and maximum efficiency. Applicants are really strongly encouraged to carefully read the SDE21 call for teams in its entirety and adhere to the stated submission requirements. This webinar summarizes the general topics of the call. If there are any inconsistencies between the call and this presentation, the call and any corresponding online addendum are the controlling documents. Applicants should rely on the call language and seek clarification from questions@solardecathlon.eu. Now, I give you, with no further ado, Daniel Lorberg, Project Director of the SDE21, live in SDE21 host city, Wuppertal, Germany. Daniel, take it away.
Hello, everybody. This is Daniel, Project Director of SDE21, live from Wuppertal. Thanks to Louise to start that whole thing here. And we are very happy that so many people are so interested. And I'd like to introduce you to what we are doing for, I think, the next hour. So our basic content will be my small introduction just right now. Then we have a little video in which Katharina Simon and Carsten Voss are presenting our concept of SDE21 going urban. Then we get back to Louise. She will explain how the application works and what you have to do to be successful in this edition. After that, we have a live questions and answers done by Frau Korocci and Niels Schäfer from our Architecture and Urban Innovations team. And I will join in too. Maybe I can help with some other questions. And this is how it works, these questions and answers. You ask your question during the whole webinar in the chat. And we will answer it directly, and we will also answer it live after Louise has done her last part. And if we can't get through all the questions, we will definitely answer all of them until Wednesday next week, and everything will be published on the Call for Teams questions and answers page. And you also can ask any questions with the email questions@solardecathlon.eu. So what is our edition about? We are in Wuppertal in Germany here, and this will be the 5th Solar Decathlon Europe. And if you compare the Solar Decathlon Europe with the other editions, it always was quite urban. And especially this year in Santander, I think we've seen a lot of good ideas how to integrate urban situations and really good buildings. And we want to see more of this in Wuppertal. So why are we doing that? We go urban because I think the city will determine the future of mankind. That means the city can be the cure or a big problem, and it's up to us to make that 75% of Europeans' building stock more energetically efficient, to reduce the waste that is done in construction sector. And this is why I think going urban is the most relevant thing we can do. So that's it for the introduction, and I think we should now all together join the great video that will maybe answer a lot of your questions. Thanks for your attention so far.
Hi, my name is Katharina Simon. I'm Director of Architecture and Urban Innovation in the SDE21 project.
Hi everybody, my name is Carsten Voss. I'm Professor for Building Physics at Wuppertal School of Architecture, and I'm the Competition Director of Solar Decathlon 21.
The SDE21 project is urban because of two reasons. The first one is we are regarding urban, architectural and social challenges. The second one is that our competition site is situated in the city center of Wuppertal with a great visibility by public. On the next slides, I'm going to give you more information about the 3 urban situations, which are the planning tasks in our competition. The Quarter Mirke is a neighborhood in which the SDE21 competition site and the presented urban situations are located. The Solar Campus is situated in the northern part of the district Mirke and borders directly on the Mirke railway station, which is here. In the south, you can find the 22 kilometers long bicycle fast track, which is called Nordbahntrasse. From the central station that provides an ICE connection to Düsseldorf, Frankfurt and other cities, the Solar Campus is reachable in 15 minutes on foot. The infrastructure is well developed. Due to the inner city location, a lot of restaurants, small cafes and hotels are easy to reach. The existing building stock largely consists of typical buildings from the end of the 19th century, mixed with post-war buildings from the 1950s and 1960s. So the quarter is representative of many urban neighborhoods in Germany and throughout Europe. The quarter has a high urban potential and offers interesting and realistic planning tasks for the SDE21 with a great opportunity for multiplication.
It's also a competition on an urban hotspot. On this picture you can see a former railway station on this side, and this is a cycling path in front. And on this place here will be the Solar Campus with all the demonstration units. So as you can see, this place is already crowded every summer evening, and we expect lots of people coming there and visit your building. Solar Decathlon 21 is about context. And what does it mean in detail? In detail, that means you have to design for an existing urban environment with its people, its infrastructure and its climate. And you can see on these pictures here, you design in an urban context an apartment building. You define a group of people who will be the inhabitants of this building. And also you work in a infrastructure context, means the energy infrastructure and the transportation infrastructure in the town and the district you address. And this town and district may be Wuppertal with its district Mirke, or you test it with your own city or a city in your country and define your own urban context, your own group of people, and you take care for the energy and transportation infrastructure in that district. The competition is about designing a whole building and building a part of it, a demonstration unit, and operate this on the solar campus. This is highlighted on this slide where you see this gray field. So it is the design competition, the whole building is addressed, and the building competition, which is a demonstration unit of the full design placed on the solar campus in Wuppertal and monitored and juried. On this picture here on the bottom right, you can see how teams have handled the situation already before. This is an example of a Dutch team from Solar Decathlon Middle East, 2018. You see the full building as an architectural model, and you see a part of it, the demonstration unit, and this unit was set on the site and tested.
In order to increase the urban density and to make our cities more livable, 3 typical urban situations are defined. All 3 situations exist in the district Mirke in Wuppertal, near to the competition site. This here is our renovation project, the gap, and the object for vertical extension. But please notice, teams are also able to propose a comparable situation from their hometown or country. Now I will go deeper into the 3 urban situations. First one, renovation and extension. Renovation is an important step towards the transitions of cities. Especially buildings constructed after the Second World War are no longer suitable for the city of tomorrow. Often constructed with inexpensive building materials, low energy efficiency and inflexible floor planning, these buildings present low quality living for the city residents. The transformation of these buildings make them attractive and integrate them into urban energy transition. One of these 2 twin buildings is to be transformed and extended. An extension is possible either to close the block or to the inner courtyard in this direction. This depends on which building you will focus on. The head building is available for planning, but also can be demolished. Within the city, undeveloped areas surrounded by 2 or more buildings are designated as vacant lots. Closing these gaps is a possibility to increase urban density. In parallel, innovative architectural and energy supply solutions for these gaps can repair the cityscape and inspire an entire neighborhood. This situation here is a typical urban gap. The neighboring buildings close with firewalls. The planning task is to fill the gap in the construction site, considering the direct neighbors. Third urban situation, renovation and addition of stories. The addition of 1 or more extra stories to an existing building, including the renovation of an entire building, is a great opportunity for the proposal of new design. The addition of stories is often found in residential and office buildings. In urban areas, warehouses, old factory buildings are also being extended more and more frequently. The diversity of use revives the urban space. Rooftop extensions create a platform for solar energy utilization. This building is a part of an old factory. In this urban situation, the goal is to create additional living space by adding stories. The restaurant, situated on the ground floor, enjoys great popularity in the neighborhood and should remain there.
Another important issue that we have 18 slots possible on this solar campus in Wuppertal. Here are 10 slots, here are further 8 slots. This is the cycling path along the site, and this is the former railway station. And the important thing is that we have the option to leave 8 houses, especially these slots here, 8 houses on this place after the competition to form an international living lab together with you. So you can decide with your application whether you will remove the houses directly after the competition or you let your house as part of the international living lab. So please announce this with your application in October. As it is a solar decathlon, we have of course 10 contests, and you have recognized all these contests with their points in the call already. You see in this table how this contest split up for the design challenge and the building challenge. Of course, all contests are important for the building challenge. And of course, we can't monitor the whole building because we only have the demonstration unit. So we have all the jury contests, which will cover the design challenge as well as the building challenge. So the new thing is that the juries will definitely take into account the full building design and not only the demonstration unit design. You can see on the right side that we have juried contests and we have monitored contests. So a closer look in detail to all these contests shows, in this case, for the first 5 contests, we have on the left side the name of the contests, we have the total points per contest, and we here show in red colors the defined sub-contests, the associated points, and the way the contests are judged. These details give you a clear indication what are important aspects of this new edition of the Solar Decathlon. Also shows that we try to guide the juries in the way that we split up the total points per contest in sub-contests, and we address specific topics. For example, in the architectural contest, we have the site integration, the building design, the interior and lighting design, and the solar system integration. This is an example how the sub-contests split into sub-points. We have highlighted a few new aspects in the competition. You see here PV system performance, grid interaction and affordability. From this highlighted points, you can see that we have new aspects covering a bit more the scientific related part of energy in buildings. This is the PV system performance, so it's not just about generating power from PV, it's about how efficient you do this. And also this part is new, grid interaction. This is definitely with tasks covering certain issues in the relation of a building electricity consumption related to the grid needs. Of course, affordability is a very important issue in this competition because you define a social scenario for your building project and it should be affordable. The project should be affordable for the people where the building is designed for. To summarize the innovations from this competition, within the rules we cover the design challenge as well as the demonstration unit. So you have to work with the urban and socio-economic and infrastructure context in Wuppertal or in your hometown. We address the further building by filling a gap in an existing situation or a refurbishment addressing vertical and horizontal extensions of a building. And the focus of all this is the carbon neutrality of the building stock by refurbishment and solar energy utilization. For the building challenge, means for the demonstration unit on the solar campus in Wuppertal, we have this advanced energy monitoring approach with some scientific testing. We create the need for energy flexibility and improved building grid interaction, and this is defined with the contests and the rules. We have a comparison between simulation and monitoring results as a new issue. We also consider user-friendliness as a new issue, and we focus on circularity, and we will provide all teams a specific tool to calculate a circularity index. Urban mobility is a very important aspect of energy needs in towns, and therefore we have a contest on this, and we perform transportation tasks at the Solar Campus as well. Thanks for your attention, and we hope to see you in Wuppertal 21.
See you in Wuppertal.
Thank you for that section and segment. I'm going to quickly go through some of the logistics on how to apply. You can see this slide, which will give you the key dates. This slide shows the anticipated schedule for the call. You know that the call was posted, has already been posted in March of this year. And as we speak, we're conducting the info webinar. We have recommended that you register until the 20th of October. And your letter of intent should be sent as early as possible. Before the 24th, of course. This is aligned with the submission deadline for full applications, which is the following day on October 25th. And the teams will be notified about their designation and selection before Christmas on December 20th. The EEF and the SDE21 organizers, the SDE21 organization, are inviting university teams of creative designers and innovators to enter this competition. I'm going to talk to you here about seed funds and selection process and how those are linked. The SDE21 organizers will offer monetary support funds of 100,000 euros for each selected team. The funds will be awarded to teams that are selected to participate through this call based on the team's full participation in the competition. Funds will be provided soon after designation of selected teams, and if teams choose to leave their dwellings for the Living Lab on the SDE21 Solar Campus, additional funds of 50K will be provided simultaneously with the upfront 100K. Please note that the selection committee will not review or consider non-compliant and/or non-responsive or otherwise ineligible submissions. It says what needs to be said. You know this probably by now. Teams must be led by a post-secondary education institution. Applicants are required to register as mentioned above. The selection committee will provide notification of receipt for registration processes with a registration number. And to be considered, again, applications must comply with the content and form requirements of the call. And the applicant must submit all required information by the stated deadline, which is the 25th of October. Again, are we on registration details? Again, these are repeated information. This is information that's being repeated. Send an email to application@solardecathlon.eu. The email should contain the information that's on this slide: institution name, contact person's name, contact person's role in the institution, contact person's email and telephone numbers, other institutional partners in the team, and we'd like to remind you to please submit only one registration per consortia of institutions. And as said, a confirmation email will be sent with a 6-digit code to be used in all documentation and submission material. We're looking at the application and the fee, another piece of important information. The committee will not review or consider ineligible full applications. Again, they must be limited to a single project, and these must include the application letter, the technical volume, a budget, and I will just remind the technical volume, key technical submission. Applicants submit information pertaining to the technical content, project team members, etc. I'm going into some detail. Budget justification, documents that ask applicants to submit a detailed budget and spend plan for the project. Summary for public release, one-page summary of their technology appropriate for public release. A summary slide, a PDF slide that provides quick facts about the technology. Slide content requirements are provided in the call. And letters of commitment and the registration fee. Please note that the registration fee of €750 must be received by the submission deadline, and payment information can be found in section 5.4, I think on page 27 of the Call for Teams update document. Please do not hesitate to indicate the 6-digit registration number on the bank transfer and refer to the call documents for those details. And last but not least is the criteria for selection. In a nutshell, or at a glance, or quickly, the evaluation process consists of several phases that include an initial eligibility review and a thorough technical review. A rigorous technical review is, these rigorous technical reviews are conducted by experts in the subject matter of this call and in their fields. Ultimately, the joint EEF SD21 selection committee will consider the recommendations of the expert reviewers along with other considerations such as program policy factors in determining which applications to select. Competence and innovation, 25%. Sponsorship engagement and team support, 25%. Organization and project planning, 20%. Conceptual intention, 15%. And curriculum and integration, 15%. On that note, I will open up the session for Q&A, but please be reminded that other questions can indeed be sent to questions@solardecathlon.eu.
Hi everybody, my name is Frauke Rocci and this is my colleague Nils Schäfer. We are both architects and members of the team Architecture and Innovation in Solar Decathlon 21. We are both the contact persons for all questions on the deliverables, on the rules and the team workshops. And we are now answering your questions during the next 20 minutes. As Daniel mentioned at the beginning, we will answer all of your questions in written form until the mid of next week on the official Solar Decathlon website. And I think we can start with the first question. Yes, how the selection will be done if there is more than 8 teams that intend to leave their prototypes on the site after the competition?
Well, for this point, jury will select the teams for the competition 2021, and it's including the teams for for the living lab. So the teams which are allowed to leave their demonstration unit at the solar campus are also selected by the jury.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I hope this information helps. The second question was, is there a size specification for the demonstration unit?
Well, yes, of course there is. The specific size specifications are clearly described in the rules, so please note the rules. It's especially in the rule, for example, Rule 5, the solar envelope. And it's also the dimension of the slots, it's 18 to 80 meters. And also the living space is regulated for, so it's depending if there are, it's 1 or 2 floor levels. So for 1 story, it's 45 square meters as a minimum and 70 square meters at the maximum. And if there are 2 stories, it's 110 square meter. But please note all these facts in the rules.
Mm-hmm. The next questions, we have to deal with this online, so please Yeah, I start with the third question. The question was about the financial support of the 100,000 euros that will be provided to the teams. The question is if it is a full money supply or if it could benefit in kind. We have now our competition director, Daniel Lorbeck, in our room. Maybe, Daniel, could you tell the team something about that question?
This, the 100,000 euros will be paid as euros.
Okay. Hope this was the answer you'd like to have. We go on with the next question. Is the transfer of ownership mandatory for the houses to remain as part of the living lab? And would you consider the option of keeping houses on the lot for limited time frames of 6, 12, 18 months in that case? Yeah, as we know, so far the ownership of the houses will be going over to the colleagues of the non-profit organization Utopia Stadt. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is at the moment we are planning for a longer period of time to monitor the houses over there. I think
basically at the moment we have two options. One option is you don't leave your house there and disassemble it directly after the competition. And the other option, you leave the house there as part of the living lab, and then the ownership is transferred definitely. If you want to leave it on site for like 1 year or something, then this is something we have to discuss as you are chosen and as we can see how many teams are willing to do such things, because the space is urban and so we have to manage it and talk to the owner, but maybe there are possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Daniel. The next question is, in the document Call for Teams, there is stated that if you decide not to choose for Wuppertal, you need to choose for a case study in your city of origin. But we just explained that we can choose any city in our own country. Besides, you said that this document is leading. So we were wondering if we could choose any city in our country.
Yes. You are right. Yes, you can choose any city in your country. I basically would say there is nothing speaking against even to choose any urban situation, even if it's not in your country. So we will have a definitive answer to that online, and then you can rely on it. But our position is that you can go urban wherever you find a city.
Mm-hmm. That's the fourth option, yeah. The next question that was asked was, can you share details about the legal hate limitations, number of stories, and so on for the 3 sites in Wuppertal? Yes. We are working at the moment on the documents. That means that we prepare all the floor plans, sections, etc. for you, and as well a 3D module of the buildings of the 3 situations. But we are not yet ready yet, but you will receive the information as soon as possible. Then the next question is it possible to switch the chosen selection of one of the sites after the application?
I think we should answer that one during the next week, because how your application handles the chosen scenario is a basic aspect of the jury procedure. So I think we have to think about that, and my first idea would be that it is not really compliant if we would allow that, because the jury has judged your application including this scenario. So, but you get a written answer on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we are going on to the next question. Regarding the case studies in Wuppertal, specifically number 3, the renovation and addition, shall we have the same size lot in the campus? How do we recreate the existing building in the exhibition campus? Well, every team has the same lot conditions on the Solar campus. That means there is no other lot size for the ones who choose the renovation. That means that you have to try to figure out in your design process for the demonstration unit how you will transport the information of the existing building towards the campus site, and which part of the renovation you will show, or the addition of stories. I mean, for the demonstration unit, you would take the part of the addition of stories.
What will happen if too many teams choose one situation but no team another situation? Mm-hmm. Yeah, then it is your choice. There is no limitation or something. If everybody wants to close a gap, then everybody wants to close a gap. That's it.
But sure, we are hoping that we have teams for every situation. That would be interesting for the competition. Yeah, but we don't know. We will see. Are there any options for how to deliver parts of the house in place? Yeah, that is part of your work for the demonstration unit. That means you have to deal with all the transport limitations and so on. And yeah, it is possible to bring modules. It is possible to bring only walls and ceilings separate, and to reconfigure it here. That's up to you. You can just do the best you can for your house. And you have to keep in mind that you will have about 2 weeks to build it here. So that's the answer.
So, but we will provide full access for trucks, and the harbor of Düsseldorf and of Duisburg is extremely near, if that is part of your question. And we will also try to find ways to help you with the logistics, and give you maybe options of companies here in Germany that you may ask about the German transport aspects, and we will try to provide English-speaking people there that also know about the project to help you with logistic issues if your question has led to that direction. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see no further questions at the moment.
Someone is typing.
Okay, then we wait.
We will wait for that.
The next one.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
You're very welcome. We are so glad to have you here in this webinar today. We are really excited about your applications, and yeah, thank you very much.
I think everything's been clear. We do urge you to register sooner than later if you haven't already, because something tells me we may have a few applications. It'll be helpful for us to plan for submission reviews, And I just want to thank you. I'm very excited. It's going to be great. We've got a good team in Wuppertal, so go Urban. Thank you. Go Urban.